years ago, when I was a child, I was playing with other kids, and that day there was this man that was cutting down trees where he wanted to build his house. This incident happened in a place called Ifeka-Mekengu in Enugu State, Nigeria. That day they cut many trees for him, palm trees and other trees. But one of the palm trees fell and hung on another big tree, kola nut tree, and the people left it like that. You know, kids, we went to get this palm kernel. You know, when you cut a palm tree and the tree has, if it has palm frond that is not fully matured, when you break the palm fruit, when you break the palm fruit, there is this white palm kernel that you see in that palm fruit that has not fully matured. So that was what we went to look for. So the name of the man that has the place is Mr. Donatus, known as Ahijo. Presently, the person living where the incident happened now is called Mr. Uche Mude Chocho. So that day we were, after gathering the palm fruit, we were coming out with my friends, which includes Miss, she's married now, Mrs. Victoria Ogu, Mrs. Chinonso, Ni Ozude, John Moneyo Ozude, and many other persons. So that day, we were coming out, when it got to my turn to pass, because we were passing under the palm tree. When they passed, it was my own turn to pass. The branch of that kola nut tree that was holding the palm tree caught, and the thing landed on me, and I passed out. They started shouting, they started crying, and people gathered. You know, according to what they told me when they came, they actually thought I had died. So, but one of them noticed that I was still breathing. So they gathered sticks and shovels and many things just to dig down and bring me out from under the palm tree. And that was what they kept doing until they brought me out. They rushed me to hospital. Now, number one miracle that God performed is that the palm tree, when it fell on me, I'm not talking about palm fronds, I'm talking about the trunk itself. When it fell on me, it did not kill me. That is number one miracle. God kept me alive. I was rushed to a hospital, a Cochin hospital, there in 9th Mile, in Enugu State, Nigeria. So they had to cut out flesh, you know, from somewhere to patch the places the thing wounded me. So after some time, I was taken, because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything on my own. If you keep me in a particular position and travel for 1 year, you will come back and meet me in that same position. So they took me to a man in Enugu, they call Opakma, and I was in that man's hospital. He's a specialist in orthopedic medicine. So I was there for more than a year, but there was no improvement. So I became paralyzed. I couldn't help myself, I couldn't do anything. But after 4 years, because the thing lasted for 4 years, after 4 years, one day my mom came in, cleaned me, because that was how what they do. I can't stand. I don't take my bath. My mother had to clean me with towel and went out with a bucket. So when she left the room, I saw a man walking into the room, and he was shining and smiling. I was like, who is this? I spoke to him in my language, in my dialect, in Igbo language, and in my dialect, Uwo. I asked him, Onye Bibo? And the man smiled at me and responded to me in my own dialect. He said to me, Abum Jesus. In other words, who are you? And the man responded, I am Jesus, whom your father had been talking to you about, or telling you about. Because when I was a child, even though I didn't know my father very well, because he died when I was a child, but there are this kind of memories you have that doesn't leave you. I remember that even as a child, if my father wants to tell me a story, he doesn't tell me stories of lion and tortoise and rest of them. He tells me stories from the scriptures. So he said to me, Abum Jesus, meaning I am Jesus that your father had been telling you about. And he said to me, give me your hand. So I tried to stretch forth my hand, and he stretched his, held me by my hand, pulled me out of the bed, and I stood on my feet. That was how I got my healing. So my mom was, when she walked into the room and saw me, she ran out of the room and started shouting, because it was a shock, it was a miracle. His boy that had been paralyzed for 4 years it was like, how did it happen? But finally she came in. I started telling her how Jesus walked into the room and delivered me from that situation. I want to tell you that no matter what you are going through, we have a God that can do all things. He says in his word, is there anything too hard for me to do? Nothing. No matter what you're going through, no matter how long that matter had lasted, Jesus Christ, that same man, that same God that made me to stand on my feet again. That same day, the moment I stood on my feet, I started doing everything. I started walking, I started running, I started playing, as if nothing had happened to me. This was a boy that was crippled for 4 years. But the moment Jesus Christ touched me, he made me whole. That same God that saved me and gave me a second chance can do same for you. All you need to do is to trust him. There's nothing too hard for him to do. If it is sickness, he can heal you. If you are in the same position that I was for 4 years, that same God that did it for me can do it for you. If only you can believe. God bless you. I love you.